Why do we compete? Is it the need to be the best or compare your skills to those of another? Or is it the need for adrenaline and to improve your abilities? For me, it's the latter. The feeling of sliding a car sideways offers a rush of adrenaline, freedom, and an escape from everyday troubles. But what happens when the feeling just isn't enough? You want to push yourself, improve your skills, and test them under pressure, an environment that is offered through competition. My goal has never been to be the champion. I have never had the need to feel better than my competitors. My goal is to be the best I can be, to conquer my fears, nerves, and prove that I can do anything I can set my mind to. My goal is to inspire and help enrich the lives of others through my competitive journey and growth within myself. Everyone has their own reason to compete, and this is mine. I am the competitor.
Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. Too many nights, yeah, not feeling right, yeah. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside.
My name is Kelsey Rowlings. I compete in the Formula Drift Pro 2 Series with my supercharged 5.0 Illuminator powered S14. I didn't grow up being into cars or knowing anything about cars. I actually did not get into cars until my senior year of high school when I found out what a Nissan 240SX was and what drifting was. And as soon as I saw that car for the first time and I saw my first drifting video, I knew it was something I had to be a part of. So from there, I got my first S14 and started taking it to the track. I would borrow wheels and helmets from other people that just happened to be at the track or people I met at the car meets. And that's really how I started. It all kind of snowballed from there. So I got more hands-on in cars when I decided that I wanted to drift my car and I wanted to put coilovers on it, but my dad wouldn't let me. So I went and, bought an exhaust for my friend. I had a friend help me put the exhaust on. And I wanted to get some coilovers and he said no. So I got springs and shocks and then, had to put those on myself. And from there, it kind of, moved on to things that I couldn't do myself. And then eventually I got more help from my dad and finally got him on board. And that is a whole different story.
Good afternoon, I'm Dan Rowlings, Kelsey Rowlings' dad, and it turns out her crew chief taking care of her couple of drift cars. This car that's behind us is the one that she drives in competition, and she breaks it and basically I fix it, so that's how it works. In this particular car, engine-wise, we're running a Ford Illuminator crate engine. We put a supercharger on it and we push the boost up on the supercharger. We're running a G-Force GSR transmission. They're pretty well bulletproof in drifting, although we have broken a couple gears at times, so they're not indestructible, but they are pretty bulletproof. We're running BC racing coilovers on the car. We've been on BC for the last 10 years or so. Brake-wise, in the front of the car, we're running some Willwood twin disc brakes. They're fairly basic setup, but they work pretty well. In the back of the car, typical drift setup, we have two brake calipers, one for a handbrake and one for the foot brake. So they're working on two independent systems. And for those brakes, we're running basically a stock Nissan brake caliper, not from the 240, it's from back the old Z32 Nissans. So we pulled them off of there, and we have a pair of them. We keep some spares around, but they've been working pretty well. For our engine management system, we're running a Haltech engine management system. It's an Elite 2500. So it's a very nice system, works great, no complaints. We actually have it in both of the cars now. So.
Started hearing of Kelsey Rowlings, I actually found her on Instagram, and I stopped following her because she's a female in motorsport, and let's face it, that's pretty awesome, and I love drifting. I'd have to say she's probably the best female drifter that's out there right now. And she's an awesome girl, and she knows how to throw it down. My name is Sally McNulty. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I am a driver for Honda Performance Development. I drive their turnkey Honda Civic SI. In 2020, I also will be driving my Subaru STI. I am a driver for Snail Performance Time Attack Team. If I'm gonna go out to an event, I want to be competitive. I wanna show up with a car built to the rule set because I wanna go out there and put down the fastest time that I possibly can. I don't wanna show up and be mid-pack. I don't wanna show up be last. I wanna show up, and let's face it, end up on the podium. Now, I know Kelsey feels the same way. She has her car built to the rule set also. I mean, heck, she's got a gigantic V8 engine in there that makes over 700 horsepower. She's showing up to party, let's face it. She's out there to definitely take home the gold. When we go to events, we show up because we wanna walk away with a podium finish. If not first, and win the whole event.
A lot of mind games come into play when you're competing. I always tell people when I'm at an event, I'm not competing against the other drivers, I'm really competing against myself. When I pull up to the line, my heart is pounding and I have to really overcome something in myself to be able to do well. And as long as you can overcome what you're fighting on the inside, you can then do well in the competition. I was really excited when I got my Pro 2 license. It was something that I had never really made a goal to originally when I started driving, but once I started doing competitions and I saw that it was something that was reachable and attainable, I was going for it. So when I finally was able to achieve it, it was a very exciting moment. One of the biggest challenges about Formula Drift is it's a lot more of an official competition. So if something doesn't go your way or if like a part breaks, it's not like you can go back to the pits, take your time, and fix it. You're constantly on a time crunch. If you're in between battles, you may only have 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. So it's a lot more intense and there's a lot more pressure. The most enjoyable part about being an FD is how much you learn and how many people you meet along the way. I've made so many friends through drifting. We've become this huge family, and once you develop that family and you see them every time at the competitions and at the Formula Drift events, you learn so much from them. You'll have something that breaks that somebody else experienced, and they tell you what they did to fix it. Then you might have experienced something that somebody else has broken, and you're able to give them the info. So it's really cool, and it's really just one big family. is the key to competition? Contrary to what people may think, it's to compete against yourself. Once you can tune out the other competitors, you will be successful. You can be the competitor.